Hello and welcome, I am Arumba, thank you for joining me. Let's play some more of the hip mod for Crusader Kings 2. So I was playing as Count Popo the Immortal on Shattered World, and it didn't seem like it was going to be a good idea long term. The speed with conquest is too slow, the AI apparently is incredibly terrible at actually growing on their own, and so we're going to play with the hip mod, still using somewhat more historic. I wanted to try out Immersion, but the game was very unstable. I had multiple crashes while trying to record, so I talked to Meneth, who was actually the mod maker for Project Balance, and he mentioned that the Immersion mod is what's very unstable right now. So we're still playing with somewhat more historic, basically all the same settings that we had before, except we're not going to do Shattered World, and we're actually going to load up a very different start than normal. We're going to do the 100 Years' War, 1337. And we're going to do more of a historic thing, rather than just like picking a country and like trying to conquer the world. We're going to do this one. So the death of the French King Charles the, fourth, in 1328, with no immediate heir, triggered a succession dispute that would last for over 100 years. Edward III of England was the closest living male heir, but the French nobility, balking at the prospect of a foreign king, proclaimed the line could not pass through a woman, and crowned another pretender, Philip. 9 years later, war broke out. So, as you may know, if you watch Europa Universalis 4, or you've played Europa Universalis 4, at the start of that game, in 1444, the 100 Years' War is still happening. It's not, and technically, it's not 1 year, it's not one war that's 100 years long. It's a series of wars over the course of 100 years. And so, like, in your EU4, you are coming in at the tail end of it, where England is trying to press their claim on the throne of France and put them in a personal union. And this is when it started, in 1328, evidently. So we're going to play as England and see if we can win the 100 Years' War, and maybe it won't take us 100 years. Now, the game says it's going to be very easy, but I think that with the Project Balance mechanics, and as you can see right here, we've got a massive Leon, a massive France, Holy Roman Empire, Hungary is huge. We've got a lot going on, so I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I don't really know. But, yeah. So we got Viet events. We've got Project Balance. Yes, yes. We are King Edward III of England. We've got the... It changes the name based on your culture, I guess. So we are Plantagenet. Plantagenet. I don't know how to pronounce it. We have lots of provinces in this kingdom. It's very nice. We're actually way over our force limit as well. Oh my gosh, too much EU4. We're not over our force limit, we're over our domain limit. So first things first, let's choose an ambition. Develop some personal combat skills. We're apparently a very good administrator. We have lots of state stewardship. And we're ambitious, gregarious, proud, just, Midas touched. We're not actually at war with France, but we will be. We have a claim on the Kingdom of France, so we should just pretty much declare war on them right away. We do have our historical land down here, Bordeaux, Dax, and then do we have land up here like near Calais and all that? Is it called Calais? I know that there's a province called Calais. The city of Calais. Apparently it's the province of Guines. Something like that. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, just assume that I'm doing it on purpose to annoy you. That seems like the most likely situation. We'll take the ambition to improve diplomacy. And then let's check out our vassals. So we have a few counts who are very upset. We have the Earl of Norfolk, named Thomas, who is a pretender and claimant to the Kingdom of England. So somehow this fella here actually has a claim on our kingdom. I would say, in that case, it's probably a pretty good idea that we transfer him to a duke or create this duchy. And he owns 2 provinces in this duchy. There's a court chaplain and the Earl of Suffolk, who is here as well. With him owning 2 provinces in this duchy, he's probably going to be able to take it from this guy, but this is going to be probably my first act. Let's just see if we can check this out a little bit more. We have too many held duchies, that's another problem. Somebody wants the control of a barony. That's the Earl of Oxford. Apparently I have control of his barony of Hook. This guy's my direct vassal. Well, having him as a direct vassal benefits us slightly, simply because we get the levy directly from him rather than him passing it up to his liege and his levy being dependent on their opinions of each other. But it's really quite messy, and it when you click the raise levy button, you end up with more armies all over. I don't like it. It bothers me to do it that way. So we might end up giving that land away as well. The duchies that we currently hold, we've got the Duchy of Aquitaine. Okay, we've also got the Duchy of Dehueparth, which is this duke owns most of that land anyway. He has one province that doesn't belong to him, or shouldn't belong to him, part of Glamorgan. The problem with playing with England is that I end up constantly mispronouncing names, because everything in England is so damn hard to pronounce. Alright, well this duke can probably maybe fight this guy off. I'm going to go ahead and make this guy a duke. We'll grant him that duchy. I think it gets rid of part of the problem. But this pretender to the kingdom, we need to work on that. I think we do transfer this guy's baron, the one that he's all upset about. That fixes the problem, and we get the vassal transfer bonus. Desires the duchy. Okay, that's the other duchy that I have, apparently. I've got Aquitaine. Oh, interesting. Okay, I thought I had 3 duchies. Apparently I had 4. In this mod, it looks like you're allowed to have 3 duchies. We also own the Duchy of Lancaster, yet we have no territory in the Duchy of Lancaster. My son is the Duke of Gwynedd and Cornwall, and he owns some of the land in that Duchy of Lancaster. My kinsman owns part of it as well. I am actually perfectly fine with giving my son an extra duchy. We'll grant him the Duchy of Lancaster. We lose a vassal by doing that, but it's okay. And then finally the Duchy of Aquitaine down here. We own this land directly. This is 1 province, evidently. It looks kind of like 2. It's like there's another name there. What does that say? Adour. Is that a river? Might be. Now this lands... This guy desires the Duchy of Aquitaine. Well, rather than give it to him, I think we grant Bordeaux to a character in our court. Let's see, how do we want to do it? Let's search our vassals for somebody that would make a good... Let's search for men. Oh, and actually, before we get too much further into it, we're not going to ever click this button. I wish there was a button to disable this, because I'm scared I might click that accidentally. We'll leave regular ahistoric... Well, maybe not. The only empire that's currently formed right now is the Holy Roman Empire. We'd still be able to create these empires. We just don't have de jure claims on everything. I think we, yeah, get rid of ahistoric empires. That's fine. If they didn't exist in real life, then I don't want the ability to use their claims to expand. It's kind of silly. We're not going to use the randomized rulers button. We're not going to do this. We're going to not do any of these things. Oh, that's unfortunate. A lot of the special stuff was in that other portion, Immersion, which I can't use. That's sad. We want to do gender equality. Every non-Muslim title in the world will adopt absolute cognatic. Restrictions on enatic succession will be lifted. All council positions will be open. Yeah, sure. Why not? People were upset with me for saying that. It's unrealistic, but it's fine. We'll also let the Jews stick around. So let's see if that changes anything. If we actually have any women. Maybe it takes a day to update. Apparently my sister came of age exactly on January 2nd. Wow. Can we find a good marriage for you? Trinacria. It's the Duchy of Barcelona. Or that's the house. The duchy, the kingdom is down here. Well, being allied with you would be kind of distant. But you are a king. Alba, that's Scotland. Let's go ahead and become friends with Alba for now. We'll consider attacking them after maybe eating Ireland or eating France or something. But we'll do that, and yes, so now that it's been a day, did the women show up, or are they just not, there aren't any good women at stuff? Okay, nothing major. Okay, let's go back to the ledger. Search for both then. Prison, no. Married, any. Ruler, no. Yes, adult, yes. No, great house. See if there's anybody that makes sense to appoint. First off, can we grant landed titles to women? Yes, we can. Great. So that did work. So one thing we could do is we could sort by people who like us. We could sort by age. There's all kinds of ways to determine it. I'm thinking we need a better chancellor over this guy. And that would be fine. Yeah, we'll make this woman... She's lowborn. You're a duchess now. Totally ahistoric, right? So on the one hand, I like things to be historic, and then on the other hand, I enable ahistoric titles and stuff. So we'll grant her both counties. And then we'll grant her that Duchy of Aquitaine. That way we have somebody down there that absolutely loves us. With no chance for turning on us. And then we'll use her to improve relations with somebody else who's upset. So this guy desires the Duchy of York, which I own. Interesting that we start with that duchy and not the one that our capital's located in. But the Duchy of York, we're still 6 over our domain limit. We're probably going to get rid of the Duchy of York up here. I think what we do is we pick somebody in this duchy. Not him, because again, we can get opinion for granting titles to people. Let's go ahead and pick out like a marshal type guy. A siege leader sounds great. He's only 24. He should do well for us. We'll give him the Duchy of York directly. Give him all of it. He can have those 3 titles and the duchy. Okay. Next lowest opinion is the Duke of Glamorgan, who desires the Kingdom of Wales. Apparently I'm a double king. I own the Kingdom of Wales and England. To create the titular empire. It's not even showing up as a creatable empire, so I guess you probably have to have more of the land, and then maybe it shows up as a decision or something. I don't really know. Still have 3 more domain to get rid of. Shrewsbury is part of the Duchy of Mercia, which doesn't exist yet. So we could grant that to another person, and it would be fine. Just give it to this young man here, Eric of House of Burton. You can be the Count of Shrewsbury, or the Earl, as you'd like to call yourself. Which made me lose my spy master. Evidently the bishop or the mayor there was my spy master. Okay, finally, what else do we own directly? We've got Windsor. We've got Barrock, which apparently doesn't have... Or did it? Oh, White. There's an island here with no subholdings. Part of the Duchy of Wessex. Our capital. Now that's rather unfortunate that it has no subholdings. That's certainly not the one that I would want to hold on to. Holy crap, is it upgraded? Of course, it's 1337, no wonder. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that one too. You get to be the Count of White. Or the Earl. And then one more to get rid of. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, where else is it then? Over here, Dublin. We own Dublin. Dublin is part of a duchy that I have no chance of pronouncing. Again, we're going to go with the military guys because I want these to be available to me always for combat. Make you that guy. Windsor, Corfe, that thing, Bedford, Buckingham, Westminster. Oh, that's why we own a barony. Now this is our capital province, so we have the capital county modifier on both structures. So this is a really valuable castle. It's worth 1,200 levy. Of course, we have 17,000 from vassals, so... Alright, so this duchy we definitely want to keep, and then this is another duchy here, and then this is Essex. I think we're going to get rid of Bedford, because it only has one subholding. We're not going to create the duchy, though, because that'll make people in that duchy desire it. The Duchy of Wessex, we could create, but there's really no value in creating it. It just makes these guys want it. So now our vassals should be very happy with us at this point. Aside from this guy who wants the Kingdom of Wales. So you might be the guy that we sick our Lord Chancellor, or Chancellorette, on. First off, let's pick a steward. And a... Sure, I guess Elizabeth, you can be the person. Let's first go to the realm tree and pick the person who has the most power that doesn't like us. Which is actually going to be my kinsman, Triple Count. That's the one we want to improve relations with. I'm going to train troops in the capital, always. It's just the best thing you can possibly do with your marshal. Collect taxes in the capital, sure. I don't think we really need to worry about technology quite yet, but let's assume that, just like in the previous playthrough, that Italy probably has the best tech. Certainly seems like it. Even more so than Constantinople. Yeah, for now, I think we'll just study technology there. And we'll improve religious relations with Rome. Okay, not much has really happened, but we've got ourselves in a good spot now. So most of the people in our vassal, in our court, are quite happy. We're going to probably work on getting our relationships up, and then probably go and attack France. Next video. I'm going to take a break here. I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you soon.